Hello friends, now we will start the new exercise 1.3. नमस्ते विद्यार्थी मित्रों, आपण आता exercise 1.3 चालू करणार आहोत. But before exercise 1.3, this is the introductory video. या व्हिडिओमध्ये मी सर्व सॉल्ड एक्झाम्पल्स अँड बेसिक कन्सेप्ट एक्सप्लेन करणार आहे आणि माझा नेक्स्ट व्हिडिओ जो असणार आहे त्या व्हिडिओमध्ये मी एक्सरसाइज 1.3 पूर्ण एक्सप्लेन करणार आहे. इंट्रोडक्टरी व्हिडिओ हा फार महत्वाचा आहे कारण की यामध्ये सर्व सॉल्ड एक्झाम्पल्स आणि थिअरॉटिकल पार्ट्स देखील इथे दिलेला असतो. That's why I am making the two videos for the exercise 1.3. Now before that, this is the complex number chapter number 1. In previous lectures, we have completed the exercise 1.1, 1.2 हे आपण कंप्लीट केलेले आहेत. जर तुम्ही आय बटन जर क्लिक केलं तर त्यामध्ये माझे हे तुम्हाला दोन्ही व्हिडिओ बघायला मिळतील. Now in this video, what we will learn the argand diagram or the complex plane बघणार आहोत. Modulus of z, argument of z हे देखील बघणार आहोत. Argument of z in different quadrant or the axis. Okay. सर्व प्रकारची सॉल्ड एक्झाम्पल्स मी डिटेल मध्ये एक्सप्लेन करणार आहे. नेक्स्ट विल सी दी प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ मॉड्युलस ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स. ओके, प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ आर्ग्युमेंट बघणार आहोत. पोलार फॉर्म ऑफ ए कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर. कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर हा पोलार फॉर्म मध्ये कसा एक्सप्रेस केला जातो ते आपण बघणार आहोत. अँड दी लास्ट इज अ एक्सपोनेन्शियल फॉर्म अँड ऑल दी सॉल्ड एक्झाम्पल्स बिफोर एक्सरसाइज 1.3. आणि माझा जो नेक्स्ट व्हिडिओ असणार आहे तो एक्सरसाइज 1.3 असणार आहे. ओके, परंतु इंट्रोडक्टरी हा व्हिडिओ मोठा होत होता म्हणून मी त्याचे दोन पार्ट्स इथे तयार केलेले आहे. ओके, नाउ लेट अस स्टार्ट. Argand diagram or the complex plane. A complex number z is equals to x plus iy, where x, y belongs to set of real number. I is equals to in root of -1 is expressed as a point in plane whose coordinates are order pair. हा कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर आहे. z is equals to x plus iy. त्याचे कोऑर्डिनेट्स कसे तर ऑर्डर पेयर आहे. जॉन रॉबर्ट अर्गॅन्ड used the one-to-one correspondence between complex number and the point in a plane. Okay. Let z is equals to x plus iy be a complex number. Then the point xy represent the complex number z is equals to x plus iy. That is, x plus iy is nothing but the point xy. Okay. आता यामध्ये काय की x ला काय म्हणायचं तर रियल पार्ट ऑफ z represented on the x-axis. Real part of z represented on the x-axis. Imaginary part is represented on the y-axis. Okay. Next, y is equals to imaginary part is represented on the y-axis. So, y is called the imaginary axis. Okay. Next, this is the Argand diagram. Okay. A point P इथे घेतलेला आहे. It's denoted as considered as z. This is the y, that is the imaginary part of z, x, the real part of z, real axis, imaginary axis, Argand diagram. Okay. Now the next. इथे दिलेलं आहे 1, 2 हा जर पॉइंट असेल then it is expressed as 1 plus 2i. y coordinate जे असतील त्याला i ने मल्टिप्लाय केलेलं आहे. -4 plus 3i can be again written as -4, 3. 0, 0, 0 plus I, 0i. Okay. 5 plus 0i means what? 5, 0. 0 minus 1, it's nothing but 0 minus I. -2, -2i, and the point is -2, -2. A diagram which represent complex number by the points in a plane with reference to real and imaginary axis is called the Argand diagram on the complex plane. Okay. ही त्याची डेफिनेशन त्यामध्ये कॉम्प्लेक्स प्लेनची डेफिनेशन घेतली. रियल पार्ट हा काय असणार तर एक्स ऍक्सिस आणि इमॅजिनरी पार्ट इज द वाय ऍक्सिस. ओके. नाउ नेक्स्ट, व्हाट इज द मॉड्युलस ऑफ z? If z is equals to a plus ib is a complex number, then the modulus of z denoted by mod of z or r is defined as mod of z means what? In root of a square plus b square means the square of the real part plus square of the imaginary part. The point P, A comma B represent the complex number, okay, complex number, and it is represented in the xy plane. Modulus and the argument of z. Now see this here. That is z is equals to a plus ib. R is equals to mod of z in root of a square plus b square. Square of the x coordinate plus square of the y coordinates is the modulus of z, is the distance of point P from the origin, where point P represent the complex number in the plane. Okay. For z is equals to 4 plus 3i. Okay. And therefore mod of z is equals to 4 square plus 3 square. 16 plus 9, that is the root of 25, and is equals to 5. Okay. This is the modulus of z. Next, argument of z म्हणजे काय? That is a OP makes an angle theta with the positive direction of the x-axis. This is the point P. And this OP makes an angle of theta in a positive direction of the x-axis. Theta is equals to argument of z. Okay. And here the x coordinate is a and the y coordinate is a b. Okay. Theta is called the argument or the amplitude of the complex number. Z is equals to a plus ib. And it is denoted by argument of z. Okay. That is the angle made by the OP in a positive direction of the x-axis. पुढे आपण हे पण डिफाइन करतो, sin theta is equals to b upon r and cos theta is equals to a upon r. Okay, where r is not equals to 0. b is equals to r sin theta, a is equals to r cos theta, and tan theta is equals to b upon a, where a is not equals to 0. And hence theta is equals to tan inverse of b upon a, and that's equals to argument of z. Okay. For example, त्याने दिले आपल्याला z is equals to 2 plus 2i. Then argument of z is equals to, what is a here? A is a 2, b is also 2, and therefore theta is equals to tan inverse of 2 upon 2. Means what? Tan inverse of 1, and that is nothing but the pi by 4. Tan inverse of 1 is equals to pi by 4. This is the argument of z. Means what? The angle made by this OP in a positive direction of the x-axis. Okay. Next, if tan x is equals to 1, then the inverse function is given by x is equals to tan inverse of y. तो म्हणाल की ते हे inverse वगैरे काय? -1 काय? That is, therefore he is defined what is meant by the inverse function. Inverse function तुम्ही 12th standard मध्ये लर्न करणार आहात, पण त्याआधी some definition इथे त्याने दिलेले आहे. That is, tan x is equals to y. Therefore x is equals to tan inverse of y, or x is equals to arc of tan y. Okay. As tan of pi by 6 is 1 by root 3, then tan inverse of 1 by root 3 is nothing but the pi by 6. म्हणजे काय? की tan ची कोणत्या अँगलला व्हॅल्यू 1 by root 3 येते? That is a pi by 6. Tan of minus pi by 4 is equals to minus tan of pi by 4, and that is equals to -1. याचाच अर्थ काय? Tan inverse of -1 is nothing but the minus pi by 4. याचा अर्थ काय? tan चे कोणत्या अँगलला व्हॅल्यू -1 येत असते, and that is a minus pi by 4 in this way. म्हणून फक्त इथे तुमचा इन्व्हर्स फंक्शन हा लर्न तुम्ही करणार आहात in the 12th standard. But before that, only you have to remember what is that. काय लक्षात ठेवायचं तुम्हाला की tan of pi by 6 म्हणजे काय? तर 1 by root 3. नेक्स्ट, tan इनवर्स ऑफ 1 by root 3 is equals to pi by 6. याचा अर्थ काय? टॅनच्या कोणत्या अँगलची व्हॅल्यू 1 by root 3 येते? दॅट इज अ pi by 6. टॅनच्या कोणत्या अँगलची व्हॅल्यू -1 येते? ही इज अ minus pi by 4 in this way. Okay. Now next, argument of z in different quadrant or the axis. आता या सर्व चार्ट मध्ये तुम्हाला एक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबरची एक्झाम्पल्स दिलेत. whether the given complex number lies in the quadrant or the axis. म्हणजे तो कुठल्या क्वाड्रंट मध्ये राहतो किंवा ऍक्सिस वरती राहतो, आणि त्यावेळेस त्याचं आर्ग्युमेंट कसं फाइंड आउट करायचे हे सिंपल एक्झाम्पल्स दिले. इथे ट्रिग्नोमेट्री देखील वापरली गेलेली. ट्रिग्नोमेट्री तुम्ही जेव्हा सेकंड चॅप्टर लर्न करणार मॅथमॅटिक्स M1 मध्ये, त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला यातले अँगल्स हाऊ टू फाइंड आउट तेव्हा ते जास्त समजेल. तरी देखील मी ते तुम्हाला मोस्टली समजून देण्याचा प्रयत्न करणार आहे. नाउ फर्स्ट कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर, व्हॉट इज इट? फर्स्ट केस म्हणजे काय म्हणतोय तो, इज A is a positive, B is a 0, Z is equals to 3. Okay, now this can be written as 3 plus I 0. In this case, x coordinate, x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 0, and this is the complex number 3 comma 0. It lies on the positive x-axis. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की हा कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर जो काय आहे तो पॉझिटिव्ह एक्स ऍक्सिस वरती आहे. का की त्याचं वाय कोऑर्डिनेट कसं आहे तर तो इथे 0 आहे. ओके, दिस इज द पॉइंट P 3,0. And what about its argument? It is along the x-axis. Therefore, its argument means what? The angle made by this OP in a positive direction of the x-axis, and that is equals to 0. Now the next example, A is positive and B is also positive. For example, त्याने काय घेतलंय? एक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर घेतलेला आहे. Z is equals to 1 plus I. It lies in the first quadrant. कुठे राहणार आहे तो? First quadrant means what? X is 1 and Y is 1. It is in the first quadrant. Tan inverse of B upon A. B upon A means what? Tan inverse of 1 upon 1. That is a tan inverse of 1 येणार आहे. Tan inverse of 1 means what? Pi by 4. म्हणजे टॅनच्या कोणत्या अँगलची व्हॅल्यू 1 येत असते. That is a pi by 4. Next, A is 0 and the B is greater than 0. Okay, means what? The value of the real part is 0. This complex number can be written as 0 plus 5I. Okay, म्हणजे तो कुठे राहणार आहे? It is on the positive y axis. Okay, इथे राहणार आहे तो. Therefore, the argument of Z, that is equals to pi by 2. Theta is equals to pi by 2. Angle made by this OP in a positive direction of the x-axis is 90. That is a pi by 2. Next example घेतले त्याने, A is negative, B is a positive. Okay, it is in the second quadrant. Okay, therefore tan inverse of B upon A, that is a tan inverse of 1 upon minus root 3. That is a tan inverse of 1 upon minus root 3 is a minus pi by 6 plus pi. जेव्हा तो सेकंड क्वाड्रंट मध्ये जाईल त्यावेळेस तुम्ही फॉर्म्युला काय कन्सिडर करायचा आहे? दॅट थीटा इज इक्वल्स टू tan इनवर्स ऑफ B अपॉन A प्लस pi. दॅट इज अ tan इनवर्स ऑफ मायनस 1 अपॉन रूट 3 आणि त्याची व्हॅल्यू किती आली? तर मायनस pi by 6 प्लस pi. and this is nothing but the 5 pi by 6. हा त्याचा तो अँगल असणार आहे. नेक्स्ट, A is negative and B is 0. Means what? The complex number is a minus 6 plus 0I. Means what? It is on the negative x-axis. Okay. And therefore, the angle made by this OP. Okay, this is O and this is a P. Angle made by this OP in a positive direction of the x-axis is a pi. And therefore, theta is equals to pi. पुढे घेतले त्याने एक्झाम्पल, A is negative and B is negative. Means what? It lies in the third quadrant. म्हणजे तो इथे असणार आहे. In third quadrant कसं डिटरमाइन करायचं? That is a theta is equals to tan inverse of B upon A plus pi. Means what? This is a हा एवढा pi असणार आहे. Pi plus this theta. That is theta is equals to tan inverse of B upon A plus pi. Theta is equals to tan inverse of minus root 3 upon minus 1. This minus minus that will become plus. But tan inverse of what you will get here? Tan inverse of root 3. Okay, plus pi. Tan inverse of root 3 किती? तर त्याची व्हॅल्यू pi by 3 plus pi. आणि हे जर सिम्प्लिफाय केलं आपण 3 into pi, that is a 3 pi plus pi, that is a 4 pi by 3. This is one. Next, A is 0 and B is a negative. A 0 आहे आणि B कसा आहे? तर निगेटिव्ह आहे. It means that this complex number lies on the y-axis and angle made by this OP, if I consider O and the P, it's a pi by 2, high pi by 2, this one pi by 2, this is the second pi by 2 and this is the third pi by 2. Means what? It's a 3 pi by 2. Okay, that is on the negative imaginary axis. Okay, that is on the y-axis. पुढचा कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर त्याने घेतलाय. A is a positive and B is a negative. Means what? It lies in the fourth quadrant. मग फोर्थ क्वाड्रंट मध्ये जर समजा तुम्हाला आर्ग्युमेंट फाइंड आउट करायचं असेल, then you can take theta is equals to tan inverse of B upon A. B is -1, A is 1. That is a tan inverse of -1. Again, tan inverse of -1 is a minus pi by 4 plus 2 pi. Minus pi by 4 plus 2 pi. Then you will get 7 pi by 4. This is the argument. Okay. या प्रकारे तुम्ही ते आर्ग्युमेंट फाइंड आउट करू शकता. कधी एखाद्या वेळेस तुम्हाला त्या ट्रिग्नोमेट्री अँगल फाइंड आउट करायची अडचण येऊ शकेल. बट वेन यू विल कम्प्लीट दी चॅप्टर नंबर 2 फ्रॉम दी M1, जेव्हा तुम्ही ते कम्प्लीट कराल तर तुम्हाला हे अँगल्स फाइंड आउट करायला अजून ते इझी जाईल. ओके, नाउ विल सी दी सॉर्ट एक्झाम्पल्स बघूया आपण. फर्स्ट, if z is equals to 1 plus 3i, find the modulus and the amplitude of z. Z is equals to 1 plus 3i. Here a is equals to 1, b is equals to 3. Both are positive. And the first quadrant मध्ये z is equals to in root of 1 square plus 3 square. 1 square is 1, 3 square is 9. 9 plus 1, 10. That is the mod of z is equals to root 10. Now next, amplitude of z, tan inverse of b upon a. B is a 3, 3 upon 1. That is the amplitude of z is a tan inverse of 3. It's a simple example. Now the second example, find the modulus argument of the complex number -7 plus 24i. Now the solution. Let z is equals to -7 plus 24i. A is equals to -7, b is equals to 24. Mod of z is equals to in root of 7 square plus 24 square. 7 square is a 49, 24 square is a 576. Their total is 625, and therefore the root of 625 is 25. And hence the modulus of the complex number -7 plus 24i is a 25. Next, argument. Here, the argument of z is equals to tan inverse of b upon a. Tan inverse of 24 upon -7, and hence argument of z is equals to tan inverse of 24 upon -7. Now next, argument of z is equals to tan inverse of b upon a. Therefore tan inverse of b is a 24, a is -7, and hence the argument of z is equals to tan inverse of 24 upon -7. As a is negative, b is positive, theta lies in the second quadrant. Okay. Now the next, properties of modulus of complex numbers. Z1, Z2, Z3 are complex number. Then mod of z is equals to 0. It implies that z is equals to 0. And here real part of z is equals to imaginary part of z is equals to 0. Next, mod of z is equals to mod of minus z is equals to mod of z bar is equals to minus mod of z bar. Next, real part and imaginary part lies between minus mod of z and plus mod of z. Okay. Next, z into z bar, and that is equals to mod of z square. Next property, mod of z1 into mod of z2 is equals to mod of z1 into mod of z2. Next, mod of z1 upon z2 is equals to mod of z1 upon mod of z2, where z2 is not equals to 0. Seventh one, mod of z1 plus z2 is less than or equals to mod of z1 plus mod of z2. And again next property, mod of z1 plus z2 mod square is equals to mod of z1 square plus mod of z2 square plus 2 times real part of z1 into z2 bar. Next, mod of z1 minus z2 bracket square is equals to mod of z1 square plus mod of z2 square minus 2 times real part of z1 into z2 bar. Okay. Next, mod of z1 plus z2 bracket square plus mod of z1 minus z2 bracket square is equals to 2 times. Okay, 2 times in bracket mod of z1 square plus mod of z2 square. Okay, if you open the bracket, middle term दोघांचे काय होतील तर कट होतील, and then you will get 2 times in bracket mod of z1 square plus mod of z2 square. Now the 11th one, mod of az1 minus bz2 bracket square plus mod of bz1 plus az2 bracket square, and that's equals to, if we simplify, then you will get in bracket a square plus b square, bracket complete. And next in rounded bracket, mod of z1 square plus mod of z2 square, where a, b belongs to set of real number. Now there are some properties of argument of z also. Okay. Argument of z1, z2 is equals to argument of z1 plus argument of z2. Argument of z1 upon argument of z2 is equals to argument of z1 minus argument of z2. Okay. Argument of z plus argument of z bar, that's equals to 0. That is argument of z bar is equals to 0. Argument of z is equals to minus argument of z is equals to argument of 1 upon z. If the argument of z is equals to 0, then z is a real number. Okay. Now the next, polar form of the complex number. अतिशय simple है polar form. Let the complex number z is equals to a plus ib be represented by the point PAB. Okay, this is the PAB. It's represented r theta. R is the distance of this point P from the origin, and theta is the angle made by this OP in a positive direction of the x-axis. That is, the theta is equals to argument of z. Okay. Let the measure of angle XOP is equals to theta, and that's equals to tan inverse of B upon A. Length of OP is equals to R in root of A square plus B square. So positive. Then P R theta are called the polar coordinates of the point P. Okay. Next, we call the origin as a pole. See, this is the figure. Now the as A is equals to r cos theta, B is equals to r sin theta. Figure वरनं काढता येईल आपल्याला. Okay, that is the opposite side upon hypotenuse. Means what? We can write sin of theta is equals to opposite side, means what? B upon r, and therefore B is equals to r sin theta. And next, cos theta is equals to cos of theta is equals to A upon r, and therefore A is equals to r cos of theta. Okay. Next, z is equals to a plus ib becomes a ची व्हॅल्यू टाकणार आपण इथे r cos theta, b ची r sin theta, and hence z is equals to r in bracket cos theta plus I times sin theta. This is called the polar form of the complex number a plus ib. पुढे exponential form देखील दिलाय, तो देखील easy आहे. It is known and can be proved using the special series. जे तुम्ही next higher education means what you will learn this FIBSc, SIBC, or you may learn in the engineering mathematics M2. Okay, M1, M2. E raised to I theta is equals to cos theta plus I times sin theta. Okay, this is the म्हणजे cos theta plus I times sin theta याचा अर्थ काय? The e raised to I theta, and hence z is equals to a plus ib. What is it? It's a polar form. Polar form is a r in bracket cos theta plus I times sin theta. But what is the value of this? The value of this is e raised to I theta into r, and hence the exponential form z is equals to r into e raised to I theta, where r is equals to mod of z and theta is a argument of z. Okay, is called an exponential form of the complex number. याला काय म्हटलं जातं? तर exponential form of the complex number. Now the short example. Represent the complex number. Z is equals to 1 plus I, Z bar is equals to 1 minus I, minus Z bar is equals to minus 1 plus I, minus Z is equals to minus 1 minus I in Argand diagram, and hence find their argument from the figure. आता पहिला कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर आपण या ठिकाणी ते घेणार आहोत. What is the first? Z is equals to 1 plus I. Its coordinate is a 1, 1. Okay. This OP makes an angle of 45 in a positive direction. Okay. It is a pi by 4. This is the argument first. Next, Z bar 1 minus I. Okay, means what? X is positive and y is a negative. This is the 1 minus I. And what about here? This is pi by 2 plus pi by 2 plus pi by 3 pi by 2 and again pi by 4. Okay, 3 pi by 2 plus pi by 4. Okay, you can add this multiplied 6 means what? 7 pi by 4. This is okay. Next, पुढे काय दिलं त्याने आपल्याला? Minus z bar, that is a minus 1 plus I. Minus 1 plus I. And the argument of z किती असणार आहे याच्यामध्ये? This is the 90 plus 45. Okay, that is a 3 pi by 4. And last is a minus z means what? Minus 1 minus I. And here is a 90 plus 90 and again here the pi by 4. Okay, it means that pi plus pi by 4 and then here you will get 5 pi by 4. This is the argument of the z. Now we can find it. Argument of first z is a 45 pi by 4. Argument of minus z bar which is the 135 म्हणजे इथे येणार आहे 135. Okay, next argument of minus z is 225. From here इथपर्यंत असणार आहे 180 plus 45, that is a 225. Argument of z bar, okay, which is the 350 means what? 7 pi by 4. म्हणजे इथनं येणार तर ते इथपर्यंत येणार, that is equals to 7 pi by 4. These are the argument of the complex number z, z bar, minus z bar, minus z. Okay, now the next. Represent the following complex number in the polar form and in the exponential form. Okay, now the complex number 4 plus 4 root 3I. Okay, here a is equals to 4, b किती आहे 4 root 3. What about the r? R is equals to in root of 4 square plus 4 root 3 bracket square and that's equals to in root of 4 square किती आला तर 16. 4 root 3 bracket square means what? 16 into 3, that is a 48. 48 plus 16 you will get 64, root of 64 and that is equals to 8. R is equals to 8. Now both x and y both are positive. Okay, and we want to find out the argument of z. Both are positive. Theta is equals to tan inverse of b upon a. 4 root 3 upon 4. 4 4 get cancelled, you will get root 3. Tan inverse of root 3 म्हणजेच काय? pi by 3. तर tan ची कोणत्या अँगलला व्हॅल्यू root 3 येते? That is pi by 3 or it is a 60. And hence the polar form of z is equals to 4 plus 4 root 3 I is z is equals to r cos theta plus I times sin theta. That is equals to 8 cos of 60 plus I times sin 60. That is 8 in bracket cos of pi by 3 plus I times sin of pi by 3. Okay, this is the polar form. Okay. And what about the exponential form? The exponential form of z is equals to 8 into e raised to I pi by 3. पुढचा कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर that is equals to z is equals to minus 2. Okay, आता z is equals to minus 2 जर आपल्याला इथे कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर दिलं then we can write here series here z is equals to minus 2. Here a is equals to minus 2, b is 0. This is the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, now the point lies on the x-axis. Okay, this is the minus 2 comma 0. Okay, and therefore the argument is pi. Here r is equals to in root of minus 2 bracket square plus 0 square and that is equals to in root of 4 plus 4 and is equals to 2. As the point minus 2 0 lie on the negative real axis, that is the x-axis, therefore theta is equals to pi radian or it is equals to 180 degree. And therefore polar form of the z is equals to r in bracket cos theta plus I times sin theta, that is the cos of 180 plus I times sin of 180. Okay, and this is the polar form. What about the exponential form? Exponential form म्हणजे काय? That is the z is equals to r into e raised to I theta. This is the exponential form. Okay, Now the next 3i. Solution z is equals to 3i. Again here a is equals to कुठलाही complex number, that is equals to a plus ib. Okay. Here a is 0, b is 3. And now if we draw these coordinate axis, then what you will get here? This is the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, x-axis, y-axis. A is 0 and b is equals to 3. It means that it lies on the positive y-axis. This is the point P whose coordinate is 0 and 3. It's clear that that's argument किती असेल? It's a 90 degree. Means what? Pi by 2. And what about the modulus of, or r is equals to in root of 0 square plus 3 square. That is a 9. Root of 9 is 3. Okay. And here, as the point 0, 3 lies on the positive imaginary axis, theta is equals to pi radian upon 2. That is a 90 degree. Therefore, the polar form of z is equals to r cos of theta plus I times sin theta. That is a 3 cos of 90 plus I times sin 90. That is equals to 3 cos of pi by 2 plus I times sin of pi by 2. And this is the polar form of the z. What is the exponential form of the z? That is exponential form of the z is equals to 3 e raised to I into pi by 2. This is the exponential form. Now the next, minus root 3 plus I. And here if you compare the complex number, z is equals to a plus ib. Then here a is equals to minus root 3, b is equals to 1. Okay, r is equals to in root of minus root 3 bracket square plus 1 square. 3 plus 1, 4, root of 4, and that's equals to 2. Now the point, what is that? Minus root 3 plus 1 lies in the second quadrant. Okay. The second quadrant मध्ये तो असणार आहे. This is the axis, coordinate axis. First is x-axis and then the y-axis. Now the point is here, a is a minus root 3 and b is a 1. Okay. This is the O and the point P. We want to find out this argument. Okay. It lies in the second quadrant. The second quadrant मध्ये कसं असतं? Theta is equals to tan inverse of b upon a plus pi. That is the tan inverse of b is a 1 and a is a minus root 3. Tan inverse of 1 upon minus root 3 is a minus pi by 6. Minus pi by 6 plus pi, and that is equals to pi by 6. Okay. तर चार्ट मध्ये तुम्हाला या टाइपचे अँगल्स फाइंड आउट करण्यासाठी ते दिलेले. यू कॅन फाइंड आउट दी अँगल्स. आणि पुढे ट्रिग्नोमेट्रीचा सेकंड चॅप्टर तुम्ही जेव्हा लर्न करणार तेव्हा देखील तुम्हाला ते फाइंड आउट करता येईल. फॉर एक्झाम्पल यू कॅन राइट हियर दॅट इज द tan of theta is equals to what is here b upon a, and that is equals to what's the value of b? B is 1 and a is a minus root 3. आता हे जर तुम्हाला लिहायचं असेल तर here is a minus 1 upon, okay, असं लिहिता that is equals to minus in bracket 1 upon root 3. Okay. Next 1 by root 3 tan च्या कोणत्या अँगलची व्हॅल्यू? It's a pi by 6. Okay. Therefore, this is the tan of pi by 6. Okay. And that is again nothing but the tan of pi minus pi by 6. Okay. By using the formula. What is that formula? Tan of pi minus theta is equals to minus tan theta. And he simplify करणार. Then what you will get? Tan of 5 pi by 6. Okay. And hence theta is equals to pi by 6. Therefore, the polar form of z is equals to 2 in bracket cos of pi by 6 plus I times sin of pi by 6. Therefore, the exponential form of z is equals to r e raised to I theta is equals to 2 into e raised to I 5 pi by 6. Okay, या प्रकारे. Next, express z is equals to root 2 into e raised to 3 pi by 4 into I in a plus ib form. Okay, z is equals to root 2 into e raised to 3 pi by 4 into I, that is r into e raised to I theta. R ची व्हॅल्यू लगेच आपल्याला मिळेल, that is a root 2 and theta is a 3 pi by 4. Okay, as the polar form of the z, what is the formula? Z is equals to r cos of theta plus I times sin theta, means or root 2 cos of 3 pi by 4 plus I times sin of 3 pi by 4. Now by allied, using the allied angles result in the trigonometry, ते तुम्ही सेकंड चॅप्टर मध्ये लर्न करणार, ते मी तुम्हाला तिथे डिटेल मध्ये शिकवणार. तर देखील इथे काही प्रमाणात, that is the cos of 3 pi by 4. Cos of 3 pi by 4 can be written as pi minus pi by 4. And what is the formula for cos of pi minus theta? Cos of pi minus theta is a minus cos theta because it is in the second quadrant. Okay, it is in the second quadrant, and in the second quadrant cos is a negative. Okay, therefore cos of pi minus theta is a minus cos theta, आणि म्हणून आपण काय लिहितो, cos of 3 pi by 4 is equals to minus cos of pi by 4. त्यासाठी फॉर्म्युला काय, cos of pi minus theta is equals to minus cos theta, means what, cos of pi minus pi by 4 is a minus cos of pi by 4. But what is the value of cos of pi by 4? Is 1 upon root 2. Okay, and hence the value. Next आपल्याला साइन पण काढायचं आहे. Sin of pi minus theta is sin theta because sin is negative. Sorry, sin is positive in the second quadrant. In first quadrant all are positive. In second quadrant only sin is positive. In third quadrant tan is positive, and in last quadrant cos is positive. Okay, and therefore cos of pi minus theta, हा pi minus theta कुठल्या क्वाड्रंट मध्ये जातो, तर तो सेकंड क्वाड्रंट मध्ये जातो, and therefore it is a positive. And sin of pi minus theta is a sin theta. तसं इथे sin of 3 pi by 4 can be written as sin of pi minus pi by 4. Similarly here sin of pi minus theta is sin theta. Therefore here is a sin of pi by 4. And that is equals to 1 upon root 2. त्याला साइन कसं असणार आहे, it is in the second quadrant, sin is positive in the second quadrant, therefore here is a plus sign. Cos च्या बाबतीत कसं होतं, cos is negative in second quadrant, therefore here is a minus 1 by root 2. And hence the polar form, that is z is equals to r in bracket the value of cos theta. Okay, polar form वरनं आपण कुठला फॉर्म, पोलार फॉर्म आपण इथे घेतलेला आहे, आणि पोलार फॉर्म वरनं a plus ib च्या फॉर्म मध्ये आपण ते लिहितोय. Now the value of cos of 3 pi by 4 is a minus 1 by root 2 and sin of 3 pi by 4 is a 1 by root 2. Simplification करणार, या root 2 ने इथे multiply करणार, root 2 get cancel, you will get minus 1. या root 2 ने 1 by root 2 ला you will get plus I, and hence z is equals to minus 1 plus I. Okay, this is in the form z is equals to a plus ib, where a is minus 1 and b is a 1. Okay, that is a minus 1 plus I. Next, express first 3 into e raised to 5 pi by 12 into I into 4 into e raised to pi by 12 into I in a plus ib form. My दोघांचं multiplication 3 into 4 you will get by e raised to 5 pi by 12 into I e raised to pi by 12 into I. या दोघांचं मल्टिप्लिकेशन आहे, दोघांचा बेस कसा आहे तर सेम आहे, त्यांच्या इंडेक्सची आपण टोटल करणार. 5 pi by 12 plus 5 by 12 you will get 6 pi by 12. Therefore you will get here e raised to pi by 2 into I. But again, what is the value of e raised to I theta? E raised to I theta means what? Cos of theta plus I times sin theta. But what is the cos of 90? Cos 90 is 0. Sin 90 is 1. 0 plus I. And overall you will get the 12I. इथे मल्टिप्लिकेशन करणार आपण, and hence 3 into e raised to 5 pi by 12 into I into 4 into e raised to pi by 12 into I, and that's nothing but a plus ib is equals to 12I. Okay, easy example. Now express the complex number, that is a root 2 cos of pi by 12 plus I times sin of pi by 12 upon 2 in bracket cos of 5 pi by 6 plus I times sin of 5 pi by 6 in the form a plus ib. आता हा पोलर फॉर्म आहे. पोलर फॉर्म वरून आपण तो एक्सपोनेन्शियल फॉर्म मध्ये घेणार आणि एक्सपोनेन्शियल फॉर्म वरून आपण तो पुन्हा पोलर फॉर्म करणार आणि मग त्याचा a plus ib फॉर्म तयार करणार. नाउ द फर्स्ट इज रूट 2 e raised to pi by 12 into I, and next is a 2 e raised to 5 pi by 6 into I. पुन्हा इथे इंडेक्स आहे त्याचे, डिव्हिजन आहे त्याचं सबट्रॅक्शन करणार. रूट 2 upon 2 e raised to pi by 12 minus 5 pi by 6 into I. Okay. And what is their subtraction? The subtraction is हे दोघांचा बेस सारखा करणार, multiplied by 2 on both sides, numerator and denominator. You will get 10 pi upon 12, and then pi minus 10 means what? 9 pi by 12. Okay, minus 9 pi by 12. याला लोवेस्ट करणार 3, and this is the 4. That is equals to minus 3 pi by 4. Therefore, e raised to minus 3 pi by 4 into I. That is the root 2 upon 2 cos of. Express this in the polar form, that is the e raised to I theta means what? Cos of theta plus I times sin theta, and hence that is equals to cos of minus 3 pi by 4 plus I times sin of minus 3 pi by 4. But what is there is one more formula. काय the cos of minus theta. What is the cos of minus theta? Cos of minus theta is cos theta. आणि म्हणून आपण इथे काय लिहितो? Cos of minus 3 pi by 4 is a cos of 3 pi by 4. Sin of minus 3 pi by 4. Okay, sin of minus theta is a minus sin theta. म्हणून इथे sin of minus 3 pi by 4 is a minus I times sin of 3 pi by 4. पुढे आपण angle ते एक्सप्रेस करतो. 3 pi by 4 can be written as pi by 2 plus pi by 4. Okay. Now here is a geometry. So angle कुठे जाणार? It will be in the second quadrant. Okay, second quadrant. And the total angle is a 135. Cos of pi by 2 plus pi by 4. Sin of pi by 2 plus pi by 4. 3 pi by 4 आपण एक्सप्रेस केला. Now there is again one more result. काय result आहे आपल्याकडे? Cos of pi by 2 plus theta means what? Sin theta. Similarly here, cos of pi by 2 plus theta is equals to minus sin theta. तो कुठल्या quadrant मध्ये जातो? Cos of pi by 4 plus pi by 2, it goes in second quadrant. In second quadrant, cos is negative, and hence, and the function changes. Cos चा काय होतो? इथे sin होतो. इथे sin चा काय तयार होतो? तर cos तयार होतो. आता sin second quadrant मध्ये कसा असतो? तर पॉझिटिव्ह असतो. And therefore, there is again one more formula. Sin of pi by 2 plus theta means what? Cos theta. And hence, we write here sin of pi by 2 plus pi by 4 means what? Cos of pi by 4. Okay. आणि हा इथे किती आला? तर मायनस आला. Because cos is negative in the second quadrant. Now substitute the value of sin of pi by 4 cos of pi by 4. आता आपल्याला माहिती आहे sin pi by 4 म्हणजे काय? तर 1 by root 2. हे 1 by root 2. Take the minus sign as a common, or you may simplify it. Root 2 upon 2 in bracket minus 1 by root 2 minus I times 1 by root 2. इथे multiplication करना. This root 2 get cancelled, and this again root 2 get cancelled, and hence you will get minus 1 upon 2. And again here the root 2 get cancelled. You will get minus I upon 2. Okay, and this is in the form a plus ib. म्हणजे बघा आपल्याला दिलेलं कसं होतं? तर या फॉर्म मध्ये दिलं होतं. आपण ते एक्सपोनेन्शियल फॉर्म मध्ये लिहितो. एक्सपोनेन्शियल फॉर्म मध्ये सिम्प्लिफाय झाल्यानंतर पुन्हा पोलर फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्ट करतो. अप्लाय दी प्रॉपर ट्रिग्नोमेट्री. ओके, अप्लाय दी प्रॉपर ट्रिग्नोमेट्री. साइन ऑफ माइनस थीटा इज माइनस sin theta. Cos of minus theta is a cos theta. Again apply the trigonometry. Sin of pi by 2 plus theta is a cos theta. Cos of pi by 2 plus theta is a minus sin theta. Substitute their values and get the answer. And hence, this is in the form a plus ib. Okay. And in this way, we have completed here all the solved examples. Video मोठा होत होता, त्यामुळे मी हा छोटा केलेला आहे. Now, in the next part, I will explain all the questions from the exercise 1.3. अजून एक महत्त्वाची सूचना, याच व्हिडिओच्या आय बटनवर जर तुम्ही क्लिक केलं तर माझे सर्व नवीन व्हिडिओज आणि आधीचे देखील व्हिडिओज तुम्हाला बघायला मिळतील. Now we'll see in the next video. Till then, goodbye.